who is the real GOAT in NBA history?
I'm gonna say Kobe.
Kobe?
Yeah.
Yes, it's Kobe, yes. You are Kobe's fan? Yes?
Yeah, I'm a huge
right?
Kobe fan.
Yes, I'm Kobe fan too.
You would think by now every NBA player would just bow down and crown LeBron James as the GOAT, especially if they're sharing the same locker room as him. But nope. Austin Reaves just broke the unspoken rule of the NBA and publicly declared Kobe Bryant as his greatest of all time, while literally being teammates with LeBron. That's like working for Elon Musk and telling reporters your real hero is Steve Jobs. Awkward doesn't even begin.
And I don't need Reaves because he's doing the same thing as they do. Yeah. You know, it's kind of repetitive having those three. So I think you should trade him. You need to find a way to get younger, more athletic, shooting. They have a number of problems, though. I think people think that this is a quick fix and getting the big.
To cover it. And what makes this moment even crazier is that Reaves didn't hesitate, didn't sugarcoat it, didn't hide behind the safe. All three are great. Answer. He just came out and said, "It's Kobe." And this wasn't some throwaway fan podcast. This was during his Asia tour, in front of international media, where his words carry global weight. LeBron James, the man who has dragged teams to the finals, who has broken Kareem's all-time scoring record, who literally pays your checks indirectly by being the reason the Lakers are relevant. And Reaves looked at all that and said, "Nah, give me the Black Mamba." Imagine being LeBron, scrolling through your phone on the team plane, only to see your own teammate trending for putting Kobe above you. That locker room tension must feel thicker than Staples Center nacho cheese. But here's where this story gets juicier. Reaves isn't some lone wolf Kobe truther. More and more players are starting to break ranks, openly picking Kobe over LeBron.
Most people would say Michael, even your generation. Having said that, what I don't like about the GOAT conversation is that people believe if you pick someone, it's taken away from the other guy. It's not. I mean, I think LeBron's going to have the greatest career, or has already.
Yeah.
He has the greatest career to ever have. And actually, Kareem is second, in my opinion, as far as length of career and done all these great things. What's the one stat? And I'm killing it, so it's going to be wrong. But I think there's 5 players that have won the MVP in the regular season, won the MVP in the finals, won the scoring title, was Defensive Player of the Year, made the defensive team. And you know who the 5 are? Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan, Michael Jordan.
Really? That's wild.
And so, I mean, there's so many stats like that.
Paul Pierce recently explained why Austin Reaves can't reach his full potential playing with LeBron James, and his analysis might explain the GOAT.
And when you look closer at why, it starts to make a lot of sense. Paul Pierce has flat out said that Reaves can't even maximize his potential playing next to LeBron because of LeBron's ball-dominant style. That's brutal. Basically telling the world, if you're not tailor-made to orbit planet LeBron, you'll never shine. And Pierce didn't stop there. He made the case that Kobe's leadership actually elevated role players more effectively than LeBron ever has.
Here are the 3 trades the Lakers should consider to upgrade the roster now that they've traded for Luka Doncic, which still feels like a bad episode of Black Mirror. So trade number 1 is still the LeBron to the Warriors package. I know LeBron came out after the trade and said he doesn't want to leave LA and that he's got the no trade clause, but I still think this is both his best shot at a ring and the Lakers' best chance to build depth and assets around Luka for the future. But if LeBron is truly hell-bent on staying in LA, then here are 2 more ideas. And to me, this is the best case scenario. If the Lakers can get John Collins and Walker Kessler from the Jazz for Rui, Dalton Connect in that 2031 swap, I think that'd be a home run. And then trade number 3 is a 3-team deal with the Raptors and Wizards. The Lakers get Jakob Poeltl and Corey Kispert, a couple of specialists who are also locked up on multiple year contracts. The Raptors get Rui and a first. And the Wizards get a couple of picks for a guy who's not really part of the future. Who says no?
Think about that for a second. Kobe, the guy labeled a selfish gunner for half his career, is now being praised for making teammates better than the so-called ultimate playmaker. That flips the entire narrative on its head. And then you've got Dwayne Wade, the guy who literally shared champagne showers with LeBron in Miami, saying he puts Kobe above LeBron too. That's not just shade, that's an eclipse. Wade talked about Kobe's mystique, the fear factor, the psychological warfare he brought to the floor. Against Kobe, opponents felt hunted. Against LeBron, they felt tired. You can respect LeBron's consistency, but you feared Kobe's obsession. And that's what resonates with guys like Reaves. Because when you're in the trenches, you don't care about Twitter debates or ESPN stats packages. You care about who you trust to take the shot, who you'd follow into battle, Who made you believe you could win? Here's the thing that really stings for LeBron fans. Reaves had options. He could have gone the safe route and said Jordan. Nobody would have flinched. MJ has 6 rings, the perfect finals record, and still casts the biggest shadow. But Reaves bypassed both the ring king and his own teammate to choose Kobe. That tells you this isn't about resume math. It's about the mentality. It's about Kobe's obsession with craft, his maniacal drive, his killer instinct. You can't quantify that with box scores, but players feel it in their bones. Now zoom out and look at the context. LeBron is at a point in his career where he's chasing legacy more than titles. He's publicly said he wants to play with Bronny. He's running production companies, launching businesses, and stacking contracts that leave the Lakers with duct tape rosters. That's not the image of a man laser-focused on squeezing every ounce of winning out of his final years. Kobe, even at the tail end of his career, limped through injuries just to stay on the court and prove he was still about the game. That contrast isn't lost on teammates like Reaves, and you can feel the generational shift in how greatness is being judged. LeBron's GOAT case has always leaned on longevity, versatility, and accumulating records. But the new wave of players, the guys who grew up idolizing YouTube montages of Kobe fadeaways, they care about artistry, mentality, and pure hoop skill. For them, Kobe represents what basketball should feel like: ruthless, precise, and terrifying. LeBron represents what basketball can achieve: dominance, sustainability, and empire building. Both are valid, but when you're a role player like Reaves, who has to scrap for every possession, you probably relate more to the guy who bled for every inch rather than the guy who built a legacy on being larger than life. And let's be real, LeBron's GOAT campaign has always had a PR flavor to it. The decision, the social media documentaries, the speeches about chasing ghosts in Chicago. LeBron has managed his image as carefully as he's managed his body. Kobe didn't care about crafting a narrative. He cared about killing you on the court, and then waking up at 4 a.m. to do it better the next day. To a generation of hoopers, that's authenticity. What makes Reaves' statement even spicier is how international fans reacted. Overseas, Kobe is still basketball royalty. His game translates across cultures in a way LeBron's brute force doesn't. The footwork, the skill, the mentality, it's timeless. Being in that environment, surrounded by fans who still worship the Mamba, probably gave Reaves the freedom to say what he really thought, instead of the company line. But let's not pretend this doesn't ripple back into the Lakers' locker room. LeBron's entire brand partially relies on his teammates buying into the myth that he's the GOAT. When guys start poking holes in that, it undercuts the aura. Even if LeBron doesn't say anything publicly, you can bet he clocked it. You can bet AD clocked it. And you can bet the Lakers media will spin it into another season-long storyline. Does Reaves respect LeBron? Will this affect chemistry? Is the king losing his grip? And maybe that's the real takeaway. Maybe Reaves just said out loud what a lot of current players feel privately. That Kobe, not LeBron, embodies the essence of basketball greatness. That while LeBron will always have the numbers, Kobe will always have the soul. And that's why this debate refuses to die. Because greatness isn't just stats or rings. It's the way a player makes the game feel. So here we are. Austin Reaves, role player turned truth teller, has reignited the GOAT debate with one simple name: Kobe. And maybe, just maybe, the fact that it came from someone inside LeBron's own house is what makes it sting the most. Because if your own teammate, who sees everything up close, still doesn't buy in, that says more than any analyst, any fan, or any stat sheet ever could. Now the question is, do you side with Austin Reaves and the growing wave of Kobe truthers? Or do you still ride with LeBron's empire of longevity and numbers? Either way, drop your thoughts, because this debate isn't ending anytime soon. And if nothing else, it proves that sometimes the most honest answers come from the people standing closest to greatness.